In a land of deserts and wide skies, there was a small tent in the land of Canaan. There lived a man named Abram who resided in a tent. But at 75, he longed for a child. His wife Sarai had been unable to have children, and now at the age of 65, it seemed unlikely that she would ever bear a child. One night, as the moon shone brightly, Abram looked at the stars. Abram, who calls me, look at the stars. Your descendants will be as many as they are, but I have no son yet. Lord, how can this be? Trust in me. Abram, your faith will be rewarded. God had made a promise to Abram that he would be the father of many nations. But as the years went by, Sarai remained childless. God promised you many descendants, but I have not given you a child. I trust in God's plan, but I worry for us, feeling desperate. Sarai thought of a plan. She believed that if she could not have a child, perhaps her maidservant Hagar could bear a child for Abram. I want you to take Hagar as your wife. She can have a child for us. Sarai thought this was the only way to fulfill God's promise. Hagar became pregnant, but Sarai felt a deep jealousy growing inside her as time passed. Sarai's jealousy turned into anger. She felt that Hagar looked at her with disdain. She confronted Hagar, and their relationship became strained. Overwhelmed by all the harsh treatment, Hagar decided to run away. She fled into the wilderness, seeking safety and comfort for herself in her moment of despair. Hagar sat by a well in the wilderness. Suddenly an angel of the Lord appeared to her. The angel brought her comfort and told her that God had heard her cries. He told her that God has a plan for her, and she should return to Abram and serve Hagar. Do not be afraid. You will have a son, and you will name him Ishmael. He will be a great nation, for that is God's plan, filled with new strength and hope. Hagar returned to Abram and Sarai. By the way, if you find any of these videos interesting or enjoyable, please consider subscribing. These take a long time to make, and if really helps out, after many years, God appeared to Abram at the age of 99. I am God Almighty. Walk before me and be blameless. I will make my covenant between me and you, and I will multiply you greatly. God then spoke to Abram, saying, You shall no longer be called Abram, but your name shall be Abraham, for I have made you the father of a multitude of nations. This name change signified a new identity and purpose for him. I will make you exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations of you, and kings shall come from you. God then spoke to Abraham about Sarai. He said, As for Sarah, your wife, you shall not call her name Sarah, but Sarah shall be her name, for I will bless her, and she shall become nations. Kings of peoples shall come from her. Abraham fell on his face, worshiping God. Wow, he was filled with joy and gratitude for the promises made to him and his wife one day. As Abraham sat at the entrance of his tent, 3 angels appeared to him. Recognizing their divine nature, he hurried to offer them hospitality. My Lord, please stay a while and let me prepare a meal for you. Very well, we will stay. The angels shared God's promise with Abraham, saying, I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah, your wife, shall have a son. As the angels share the promise of a son, Sarah, hidden within the tent, overheard their words. She couldn't help but laugh softly to herself, filled with disbelief at the thought of bearing a child in her old age. The angel, perceiving her laughter, turned to Abraham and asked, Why did Sarah laugh? Is anything too hard for the Lord? As the months passed, Sarah's belly grew. Then she gave birth to a son. Just as God had promised, Abraham was filled with joy and gratitude. Knowing that God had fulfilled his promise, we will name him Isaac, which means laughter, for God has made you laugh, as Isaac grew. He brought immense joy to Abraham and Sarah. Abraham took time to teach Isaac about God's promises. He instilled in Isaac the importance of faith and obedience. One fateful morning, as the sun began to rise, God called out to Abraham, "Abra, take your son, your only son, Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah. Offer him there as a burnt offering." Despite the sadness within, he resolved to obey. He believed that God, who had given him Isaac, could also raise him from the dead if necessary. With a heavy heart, he gathered the supplies for the journey, filled with both dread and unwavering faith. As they journeyed together, Isaac, unaware of the true purpose of their journey, asked, "Father, where is the lamb for the offering?" Abraham's heart was heavy, yet he maintained a calm demeanor. "God will provide my son upon reaching the designated place." Abraham built an altar preparing for the sacrifice, with tears streaming down his face. Abraham bound Isaac and laid him on the altar. But just as he was about to act, a voice pierced the silence, calling out to him from heaven, "Abraham, do not lay a hand on the boy, for now I know that you fear God. You have not withheld from me even your son, your only son." Abraham's heart soared with relief as he looked up and saw a ram caught in the thicket by its horns. God had provided a substitute for Isaac, demonstrating his mercy and faithfulness. "I will offer this ram in place of my son." For God has provided. The story of Abraham and Isaac teaches us profound lessons about faith, obedience, and the nature of God. It reminds us that true obedience often requires us to surrender our deepest desires and fears to God, trusting that He knows what is best for us. Abraham's willingness to sacrifice Isaac illustrates the depth of his faith, a faith that would be rewarded and remembered for generations. If you haven't subscribed yet, please don't forget to do so. It really helps us continue providing you with amazing videos like this.